Hi, my name is Brian Riggs, and this is the Spanish Guitar Techniques series, and this is the fourth lesson in the series, rest stroke. So rest stroke, I think, is one of those underused techniques in guitar playing. When you're finger picking, instead of like your typical way of playing, is to pluck the string and kind of have your finger not hit anything. It just kind of misses the string next to it, so it's moving freely, so we call that a free stroke. Another way to play is what's called a rest stroke, where you push through the string and come to rest on the next string. So what I'll do is I'll give you an example of a melody where I'm going to use rest stroke to kind of really project the sound and really get like a really full kind of focused sound. And then we'll kind of look at my hands and see how you can use this technique in your own playing. So the melody I'm going to play is the theme from the Concierto de Aranjuez by Joaquin Rodrigo. This is one of the favorite pieces from the Spanish guitar repertoire. It's also made famous by Miles Davis. On his Sketches of Spain album, he played this melody as well. So it's a really great melody. We kind of see how we can use rest stroke to really bring out the sound. Alright, so let's take a look at how we can use rest stroke in your playing. We'll start looking at how to do a rest stroke technique the same way we were doing the tremolo technique before. We'll do all the notes on the high E string. That's a really good place to start. And the most typical way if you're playing a melody or a solo or kind of a single note texture, your kind of go-to technique is using your index finger and your middle finger, so I and M. So we'll kind of do all those notes on the high E string. So everything, as I said before, still kind of applies. You want to still relax. As soon as you hit that string, what you're going to do is you're going to go through the string. And as soon as you hit the next string, so in this case I'm going to go from the E string to the B string, see if you can just kind of relax off the string right away. What you don't want to do is kind of keep pressing the string this way. You kind of want to let go of it right away. And so you're going to do that before the next finger plays. So it's really kind of like play and relax, play and relax, play and relax. So we're still going to thrust from that knuckle joint there. So once again, to use the analogy of a leg, you're going to think of like this is the hip joint. You're going to move from there. And so now this joint here, the last joint, so it's going to give a little bit. You want to make sure that you're not like clawing through the string, super loud, but not in a good way. It's kind of like very kind of harsh and uneven. So yeah, you just kind of like that way you can kind of control the sound. In rest stroke, you definitely do play louder when you play a rest stroke, but even more important than that, it kind of projects more. Like someone across the room can kind of hear the sound much clearly in a much more focused way. So rest stroke is great if you're going to do something like if you're soloing, for example, you're doing kind of a kind of a blues progression. You want to like have like kind of like a the solo just really kind of you want to turn it up in the mix. You want to turn the volume up. Rest stroke is a great place to start. So I've included in the study for this lesson a little just kind of a fingering for an A minor scale. Just one octave. You can use whatever scales you're playing already or whatever fingering you use to the scale, but this is a great way to kind of warm up to do the rest stroke. Once again, to get that coordination. Okay, I'm going to use the left hand. Get kind of used to that. Use that coordination of these fingers. So what you want to do when you're playing, and this takes practice, but is instead of thinking index finger, middle finger, index finger, kind of going back and forth, just like walking, like legs walking. You want to think, okay, I'm putting this foot forward and this foot forward. So when you're playing, you can kind of like have that feel of like, okay, I'm just very relaxedly going between the two fingers. So then, if you want, you can give this melody a try. So I kind of give you the A minor scale to warm up with that, and then you can kind of try. So I kind of changed the key for this melody into A minor. That's why in the first section you might have noticed I was looking off camera. So you might think, like, what's his deal? Like, why is he look that way when he plays? But I was looking over at the sheet music because I changed the key just so you can have it in A minor. But you definitely don't have to do just this melody, of course. You can kind of do whatever melody you want or any kind of like soloing you're doing. If you're doing one of the other courses here where you're thinking about scales and modes and things like that, a great way to practice your scales and modes using rest strokes. So you can kind of finger pick an A Dorian mode. Using the rest stroke technique. Hopefully this gives you something to work with. A great way to start using rest stroke is if you're playing with like a fingerstyle group or something like that, and you want to play a solo. You have like a part where you just maybe have like a melodic line, like you have a little part that you want to bring out. Try using that rest stroke. So you're going to kind of like move still from your knuckle joint, but just kind of like press against the string that's next to the string that you're playing. So we typically, this is not always, but typically used on the treble string, so like on the high E string, B string, G string, and so forth. So yeah, just kind of give that a shot. See if you can kind of come up with any kind of melodic figures that you use. You can use that to bring out your sound. So I hope you find something helpful from this lesson. Good luck with everything, and thanks for watching.